There's a lot of print options when it comes to printing your presentation, and to find out what those are, and also to print off your presentation, come with me, good neighbor. Let's come up here and click on the File tab, go backstage, down to Print. You can do it that way, or you can use the shortcut keys. Let me hit the back arrow. Control P takes you right to it. So you have your preview of each slide. There's slide 1 of 9. You can toggle through each one of them. And when you're ready, you can come up here and click on Print and print one copy of each slide, or you can go ahead and type in 2, 3, 4, use the spin dials, and choose the printer. Click on the drop-down arrow, select your printer, and the printer properties, like if you want to increase the DPI, dots per inch, so it's sharper and crisper, click on it. And on the paper quality tab, there's the print quality. The higher the DPI, the better. Let's go ahead and leave it at 600 and click Okie dokie. And then to get to the meat of this, we want to be able to print all the slides. Well, click on the drop down arrow. You can print only the selected slides or the current slide. Now, I haven't selected more than one slide, and the current slide is the first slide. So if I do this, let me hit the back arrow. There's the first slide selected, and I hold down the Control key and I select slides 3 and 5. Now the last slide that I have selected, and all 3 are selected, you can see that they're highlighted, is Ghost Hunters. Keep that in mind. I've got 3 slides. The last one I selected is Ghost Hunters. So let's go ahead and do Control P, go backstage. Instead of all slides, you can print selection, print the selected slides. So go ahead and select that. You can see I have a total of 3 slides, no more. So that's what I have selected. Or click on the drop down arrow, you can print the current slide. Now the current slide is the last slide that I had selected, and that was the Ghost Hunters. So when I select that, I don't have 3 slides, I just have 1, which is the last slide that I have selected out of the 3. And then let's see, click on More. You can do a custom range. When you do custom range, it just dumps you right down into the box here. And you can see when I hover over it, there's a pop-up of how to enter in, for an example, what slides you want to print. So if I just want to print slides 2 and maybe 5 through 12, do comma, and then no space, and 5-12, and then maybe comma 16. So does that make sense? I'm printing off slides 2, 5 through 12, and then 16, excluding 3 and 4, and then 13 and 15. Well, I don't have up to 16, I just have through 9. In any case, hover over it to get a sample of what you can do when it comes to printing off specific slides, and then I'm going to delete it. You can also click on the drop down arrow and print, I don't know if you can see that, hidden slides. And we'll talk about that in a later training video, how you can hide your slides. What that means is that in the design view, you can see it. When you give the presentation, it's not part of the presentation. That way you don't have to waste time creating a separate presentation for a specific audience when you're basically going to be using your presentation for the majority of the audience. Maybe just 1 or 2 slides you don't want to show to certain audiences. In any case, you can hide them. And so if you'd like to print those off, just those, for a specific audience or just for you, well, there you go, print hidden slides. Let me go ahead and click off. And then you can do full page slides, which is what we have here, the default. You do notes page or speaker notes, select that, we covered that in an earlier training video where you get a picture of the slide and down below any notes that you have for each of your slides, like here. And what else we got? So there's the notes page, then we have an outline, so it removes all images just in text. Select it, and there you go. Well, you want me to zoom in, I bet. Let's go ahead and click and drag, and there it is. So you have the slides numbered, but not the image of the slide and the text on the slide. And it looks fancy. And then we can go ahead and change it from outline to handouts. Hey, if you want to hand this out during your presentation, people are like, hey, I'd like a handout. I would like a copy of your presentation, but in printed format. You can do one slide. Let me go ahead and come down here and click on Zoom to Page so you can see what it looks like. So there's 1 slide per page. Gives them a little bit of room up above and below to write notes. Or what are the other options? Click on it. 2 slides per page. That makes sense, right? There's 2. But my favorite is 3 slides because it adds little lines over to the right hand side. So hey, they can write notes next to the slide, make comments, help you with your presentation by doing a review. Or, you know, if there's something that you're doing a sales presentation and you want people to write down what they would like to purchase from you, you know, write down their orders here, they could do that. Click on it, and oh, you could just go crazy. There's 4, 6, 9. Oh man, let's go up to 9 vertical instead of horizontal. And you still get room to write notes underneath these slides. Not too bad. And then you can print one-sided, or if your printer allows you to print on both sides of the paper, go for it. And the difference is to flip pages on long edge versus the short edge. So you get some samples there. Click off. Collated, how you want to print it off. Do you want it, let's click on the drop down arrow, the first slide on the first page, and then the second slide on the second page, or do you want, if you print off like 5 copies of each slide, where it doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but it goes the first 5 pages of the first slide, the second 5 pages of the second slide, and then the third 5 pages of the third slide. In any case, I'll keep it collated. And then the print orientation, portrait or landscape orientation, and you can see it goes wider. That looks fancy. And then if you want to print in grayscale, color, pure black and white, well, color's not going to work for me because I don't have a color printer hooked up. So depending upon the printer you have selected, if it's a color printer, you ought to be able to see color over here. And then finally, you can come down here and click on Edit Header and Footer, which we haven't talked about just yet. And it can be for your notes and handouts, your speaker notes, or you can add a heading for each slide or each page. And also you can have that be included on each slide itself instead of just the notes and handouts. But we'll talk about that in a later training video. But no, once you have it set up, it should be checked here, but you can always change it here on the fly before you go ahead and print off your slides. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.